Peace, audience. This is Adam Gerard, LA Ghetto Time News. Notes for the mind, love, peace, and hair grease. Today, man, we want to talk about beauty in the eyes of the beholder. We want to deal with objective and subjective. And so, I felt this is necessary, especially dealing with the current state that we in right now, where the world is basically madness. You know what I'm saying? Straight madness, and it's because we not aware of our true selves and what we were put on earth to do. Sometimes you got to sit there and ask yourself, like, why did God put me on earth? What's my mission? What's my job on earth? You know what I'm saying? He just put me here to, you know, live it up to the fullest. Uh, Big ball shot call. Stay humble. Help the kids. Um, so then you got some people be like, shit, I was blessed here, so I should have all the riches of the world. You know what I'm saying? Be able to do everything that the world has to offer. But but you have to understand this world, the things that's offered in this world is created by man, not God. So everything, so we can eliminate a lot of things of what God intended us to do on earth by eliminating um, the subjective mind or the subconscious. You know. So yeah. So today's video, um, and what I was doing was one day I was just driving, and I was just like, I started thinking of mirrors, and I'm like, damn, mirrors. I'm like, man. So I'm like if you just keep looking at yourself in a mirror, you're gonna start seeing things wrong with you. Um, you're gonna take on the mirror image, the opposite of you. You know what I'm saying? And leave the objective state and begin to live a subjective state. So you're not gonna know who you are no more if you keep looking in mirrors. So I was like, wow, this mirror invention. This was a powerful tool. Like, it's a brainwashing technique. You know what I'm saying? The more you look in that mirror, the more you don't like yourself. The more you see changes in you. You know, um, um, the more you see defaults in you and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but this has to deal. This has to do with the subjective mind or the unconscious mind. So I basically want to go into some keywords like vanity, being narcissistic, and we're gonna touch on them 7 deadly sins. And so just get right into this. Give you like a rundown. And so we're also going to be dealing with things like self evolution maintenance theory, which basically talks about discrepancies between partners. Like an example would be your partner always wants to keep you lower than them to keep themselves feeling good. And so once the partner uh, uh, moves ahead of them, or that partner gets a clear head, finds themselves, and just on a new path of living. Objectively, you know that he's on a good path. That's good. He don't gangbang no more. You know what I'm saying? He changed his life. He's on the rise. You know what I'm saying? In this self evolution maintenance theory, which the science did studies on the minorities, they come to find out that um, the self-image drops because the partner is succeeding, and the person just basically get jealous. And then that's where the angerness come in, and the arguing, and just making an argument out of anything. You know what I'm saying? But objectively, he changed his life. You know what I'm saying? He making better of himself. These are, man, these are subject matters, all dealing with the psyche. We have another one called subjective denial, in which uh, you're dealing with opinions between peers, pupils, relationships, family, whatever. When you get into an opinion debate, and an example of that is you looking at a talk show, and the whole talk show is about that's a damn shame how little kids is dressing, and that person straight get into an argument with you over the show talking about that's a damn shame how kids is dressing, and that person wants to go against you so hard that that person will take up for the kids that like wearing skimpy clothes. See this see this world that we live in, man. This is a subjective world, man. You know, so it's like when you're living in a poor state, say you're not able to do fun things and travel, and if you're in one spot all the time, it creates subjectivity, and so your outer body experience, you'll the wishing of doing things starts to enter into your mind, and plus we're going to show how the media has a lot to do with this right here. The media has a lot to do with the subjective conscious. So you're in a state, you're not living right, you're not able to do what you want to do, and so you turn to media, which is that virtual outlet. It makes you dream, it makes you fantasize, but this subjectivity is not designed by the creator above. It's devised by man. And so we're gonna get into that whole how depression and poverty and all of these things plays a big part. See, this is just a social construct. Like, these things were set up in the social society, the cultural societies, to make you fantasize and visualize, and they knew that jealousy will run rampant. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, it's just crazy, man. So, what I'm saying, not trying to be too long-winded, but let's just get on with the slides and give examples, psychological studies. Just going to be basically showing you quotes, from the studies and research on the different mechanisms that they use to leave you in a to keep you in a subjective mind state. Because anything objective sticks to the facts, but anything subjective has feelings. Objective and subjective are opposites. Objective is raining. Subjective, they would say, I love the rain. But objectively, it's like cut out all the philosophy and the rhetoric and just look at it for what it is. And we're going to get into them examples of that. I'll be making examples as we do them slides. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. All right. So beauty in the eyes of the beholder. lusting over oneself, lusting over oneself, and what it can lead to, the effects of Americanism. Americanism. Excuse me if I ain't saying that right. Americanism. Okay, so uh, so recent studies now validate the reality of internet addiction. They include it among other pathological behaviors such as gambling and eating disorders. In short, some people use broadcast and internet media as a mental and emotional retreat from refuge. Their minds trapped for hours to the exclusion of the world around them. Addicts neglecting family, work, studies, social relationship, and themselves. Um, neglect They neglect their families. They neglect work, studies, social relationships. These are key factors in objectiveness. These are the mechanisms that can bring people together. So they use they put you in a hostile state or situation, make life hard for you, and then show you things that they know that you want, but you just can't get it. And so what it does is it makes you a subjective person around your loved ones, your family. You get to turning on them. You don't listen to them no more. They can't tell you nothing. You're always arguing. So let's continue. Does not looking in the mirror really help your self-esteem, or could it hurt it? Here's what the science says, right? Have you ever thought about experimenting with not looking in the mirror? Women are conditioned to constantly monitor themselves and their attractiveness, right? So first and foremost, when we're dealing with image and we're dealing with the culture that brung image into our way of living, we know these people to be ancient Romans. So when we look at their Venus statues, we look at their hermaphrodite statues and silhouettes and paintings and Renaissance. We know who brung this to us. See, we can't even use objectiveness to know that, damn, this lust dressing, this mirror image looking, objectively, you know where it come from. You know who the biggest sexual, or who is the biggest sexual culture living amongst the earth. You know this. You know how nasty they is. You know they do anything, but they got you following it. So this is an American study, and women check themselves in the mirror up to 38 times a day, according to one British study, looking at clear skin, big boobs. I mean, these women, they're actually in the mirror naked, looking at themselves, looking at their symmetrical uh, parts, right? Literally naked, and the kids doing it now too. I mean, come on, man. Whew. My thing is, if you know you can get any man on this planet, like, you just look like, I mean, you look all that, why you gotta look in the mirror? I would never look in the mirror. Like, guys, they know they handsome and shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of subjective men. We're gonna get on y'all too, because y'all not excluded from this. But a a real man. Man don't look at, the only time he look in the mirror, man, is to see if his beard growing, and to brush his teeth, and to wash his face, and see if he need a line up. That's it. How social media affects our collective unconscious. In 1912, Carl Jung split from his mentor Sigmund Freud and went on to develop his own theories on the nature of unconsciousness. Now, if you know about Sigmund Freud, man, you know about who was the founder of psychoanalysts. So basically, studying the mind. He was Jewish. Uh, uh, from Austria. And so he was doing these studies, which led to Project Bluebeam. All them governments think the mind altering drugs. This was what he was. This is what he's the father of. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get all into that right there. So let's see. And so his science is still in usage to this day. See, it's a conspiracy going on around here. Because of his methodology, they're still using this to this day. So, using brain scanners on teens as they interact with social media. NPR social science correspondent, UCLA research. Let's just go down right here. Using Instagram posts, they analyze social media on the physical brain. Using Instagram posts as a social media of choice, Sherman said when teens saw their own picture had received many likes, they showed a greater activation in the area of their brain called the nucleus. And this is an area that's part of the brain reward circuitry, right? Likewise, teens that saw images that weren't theirs with only a few likes tend not to like them, but the more popular an image was that had many likes, the teens were more likely to like those. The experiment shows that not only does the social media affect the reward circuitry, area of our brain, at least in adolescence, but it also affects our subconsciousness through the conformity of peer pressure. So we just laying out the facts for y'all, man. So we want to get into the mirror factor, right? And so well, it goes before this, but when a perfect reflection of a mirror developed, right? Because we can go up here, Bronze Age, copper, silver mirrors, things of that nature right there. The Greek philosopher Socrates of Know Thyself argued young people to look at themselves in mirrors so that if they were beautiful, they will become worthy of their beauty. And if they were ugly, they would know how to hide their disgrace through learning. Glass began to be used for mirrors in the 1st century CE. So Socrates taught to when he made the statement, know thyself, he was dealing with images. And so, like I said before, we know where these people come from. So it's in their cultural society to have tendencies to do things like this. See, we got a problem with following these damn people. But I understand because they created an environment where we're, not able to enjoy the fruits of this world due to oppression and land taking. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's really playing with your mind. It's making you jealous. Like how they live is to make you jealous. Everything that you see on TV you can't get and you will never get. We'll give you some things. You might obtain a small percentage of this lifestyle, but you will never achieve this full lifestyle. This is the state of mind that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but we gotta learn to say fuck all they shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all subjective. It's not object. It's all subjective. And there's a lot of things that we can do, like when you're bored. You know what I'm saying? Because all this stuff is based off of them teaching us to break the commandments of the universal creator, and to stop us from doing the free things. See, the free things will lead you to an objective state of mind. And what would happen after that? You would learn to not like the material world. Therefore, you're not in it no more. You have no need for it no more. The big gold watch. Hey, I get the watch so I can leave it to my son so he can sell it if I die. Some value thing. I understand about having valuable things because we need to build up generational wealth. But you know what I'm saying. Other than that, I'm not enticed by McDonald's. I'm like, hey, we going to this fancy new restaurant. Well, what they making? They making tacos. Man, I can make tacos at home, man. My tacos the bomb. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we just got to learn to shake this subjectivity. So, let's deal with the things that has to deal with mirror imaging. Narcissism. The term originated by Greek mythology where a young narcissist fell in love with his own image reflected in a pool of water. A social or cultural problem. It is a factor of trait theory used in various self-reported inventories of personalities such as we ain't gonna even get all of that right there. We're gonna get into it some more. Let me see. Yeah, so going down, narcissism characteristics, hypertension, uh, deficit, deficitness. Excuse me, I can't pronounce that right. Withdrawal. I'm gonna just try to hit him. Uh, Withdrawal, and is strongly associated with BDP, which is a characteristic by fear of abandonment, interpersonal and affective instability, emptiness, suicidal, self-mutilation, let's see, poor self-esteem, lack of empathy, feeling ashamed, distress, and aggression. So when we know, dealing with the inner cities, we know the condition that we suffer from. They call that PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome. So narcissism is a form of PTSD because these are the same symptoms, man. But at the same time, our young brothers out there are living in a subconscious mind, deep down knowing that poverty has me this way. Let's see. Let's go right here where it says let me see, abandonment, let's see. We got self-mutilation. Our young dudes is getting tied up, getting tats all on their face and everything. This is that narcissism is a part of post-traumatic slave syndrome. So let me break it down real simple. He never got recognition. He know growing up, like, damn mom, why we so poor? Uh, the white man put us in black neighborhoods. They know this. They know this stuff right here. But what he says is that, well, I never got recognition from society as a whole, so I'm gonna get recognition from my peers that I grew up around. You see what I'm saying? That's narcissism. That's part of post-traumatic slave syndrome. Feeling emptiness, suicidal, self-mutilation. You know what I'm saying? Poor self-esteem, man. Feeling ashamed. The social construct created this for us to feel like this. This is part of population control. You know, put a gun in their hand, put drugs and guns in their hand, and let them go crazy on each other. Let's put these symptoms. Let's put self-image in this factor, and watch how they destroy themselves. So within the empirical studies, uh, better than others, um, a special group of people, all these emotions really from hurt. It comes from hurt. You know what I'm saying? Neglected. You know, we get things like personality disorder. You know, and this is also within the bounds of bullying. You know, going to school, he's ugly. Don't nobody like him. I mean, you grow up in life, bro. This starts breaking down your esteem. Now you mirror watching, and this disorder can take you into dangerous places. You know, you can turn into an abusive man. You know, once your confidence kick in, now you didn't call it HIV because you went out of control with it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of learning to ignore it, you know, God is objective. He doesn't care about personality and things like that. And fam, these are all psycho studies. So we got one called self concept. Dealing with social media again. The study about changing identities revealed that some people believe that partaking in online social media is the first time they have felt like themselves and they have achieved their true identity. A 2007 study was done on an adolescent aged 10 to 18 years old to view the way in which social media affects the formation of an identity. The studies found that it affected the formation in 3 different ways: risk-taking, communication of personal views, and perception of influence. Risk-taking behavior was engaged with strangers. You know what I'm saying? So they're giving you these outlets, and this is just a global cult society that wants you to go against the statute, laws, and commandments. So that's why they developed social media where you don't look at objectiveness. You know, like, hey man, a man's supposed to be with a girl and a girl's supposed to be with a man. I mean, clear cut, simple, non-biasness. They don't want you to think like this no more. They want to open up the world to different interpretations and ideas while kicking out the universal objective, concept. You know what I'm saying? So these are all psycho studies. I mean, I truly believe in the the not spending our money no more. That whole thing, that whole conversation. that's being stirred around. I believe in that route right there. I'm not. I don't think the other routes uh, would change anything, but I do believe that right there. And man, we just the separation of spending. You know, and the only way we can do that is if we learn these terminologies right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to bring the awareness of these terminologies because I know I've been there. I'm from the inner city. I know how it feel, man. I grew up in the 80s. I know how it feel, man. All of these symptoms. I had all of these symptoms, man. I broke free, man. I'm free now. Like, man, I'm not on a quest. I'm not gonna. I don't get jealous if somebody else rise above me. Man, I'm not staring nobody down, man. I just want to live objectively, man. Living objectively is just basically going back to the roots of your ancient culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just going back to ancient cultures, the modest lifestyle before the engines and the machinery and before the electricity and things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it's all about. Is just getting back in touch with your original man, getting back in touch with the original man. You know what I'm saying? So the self evolution maintenance model. Uh, Sometimes the accomplishment of friends are threatening and may even disrupt the relationship. Uh, uh, a, a comparison process in which a close other's achievements are threatened and could lead to changes in self-identity and negative consequences for the interpersonal relationship, and a reflection process in which a close others good performance has positive personal and relational consequences, right? A close other good performance can raise self-evaluation through the reflection process, but it can lower self-evaluation through the comparison process. Self's own performance pales in comparison with that of someone whose performance better, resulting in a lower self-evaluation and emotions such as envy and jealousy, and a decrease in pride. And so all these studies that they did, these are real-time studies. It's called algorithms. If you go to computer science, computer school, or anything, you learn about algorithms. What you type in your computer is what you get back. All your fantasies and your thoughts and your imaginations, you're typing, and that algorithm is going to the media stations, and now the media stations know what commercials to put in your area, because you in an area where it's a bunch of y'all who thinking alike at the same time. It's crazy, man. So their achievements can bring down your esteem. Why? Because something is telling you, like, automatically triggering in your brain, oh, they think they better. So I don't care. You know what I'm saying? This is the state of mind that we're living in. You know what I'm saying? This is the conscious state that we're living in right now. Waking up every day angry, man. Just don't know what. Waking up and just sitting there, like, don't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Taking us away from that objectivity. Uh, Little things like just get on the bike and ride it. Just ride the bike. Just ride around the block in a bike on a bike. Put your headphones on. Walk around the block. Uh, One thing I can tell people, man, and these are things to keep you from being bored, because the system is ran off of you being bored. The system know I put them in a bored state. They're going to spend money. And that's all they want you to do. They want you to spend money. They want you to lose the value of life. You don't even appreciate that you alive no more. You ain't even waking up talking about, man, thank God I'm alive. Shit, I'm alive, man. I don't need nothing, nigga. I had a dream I got shot. Oh hell no. Man, I'm cool. Nah, man, I'm straight. Oh, that shit don't entice me. You know what I'm saying? Because all this shit is an illusion. This is a mirror reflection. The mirror is talking to you like a demon, showing you all your imperfections, making you look at yourself naked in the mirror. That's disgusting, man. These male strippers, these female strippers. The mirror got you with confidence, like I'm bad. It makes you feel so confident that you go turn into a stripper. It can make you so confident that you'll leave your wife and kids, nigga, to go be with Thought Straggler. I'm too good for her. You know what I'm saying? These are the mechanisms that they have against us, man. So we just gotta learn these definitions, man. We gotta learn this stuff, man. Once we get to studying our brains, do psychoanalytic studies on yourself, and just look at the world, man. It's corrupted based off of imagery. Self-image is the mental picture. There go the mirrors again, man. Generally of the kind that is quite resistant to change, that depicts not only details that are potentially available to objective investigation by others, height, weight, color, etc. Self-image resulting in how an individual sees oneself, sees other individuals, and perceives, let me read it right. Self-image resulting from how an individual perceives others, individuals perceives others, see them. Self-image result from how an individual perceives the individual sees oneself. Man, we gotta learn this stuff, man. Telling you, man. And this is the poison that our females have, that the social economic system has gave to the woman to consume, to look at yourself every day. And then it gets so crazy to where the cockiness comes in, and the next thing you know, you're doing something that you really don't want to do. And it's not to every woman, but speaking to the majority. And so the self-esteem goes back to the subjective denial. Do you understand what that's saying? Subjective denial. You in denial of you being subjective. That's like you have a battle within yourself. You're in subjective denial. How can anybody live like that? So, which leads to that was caused by the self-evaluation maintenance theory, which is part of narcissism, which is part of the 7 deadly sins, which is part of vanity. I mean, come on, man, we gotta wake up. We got to wake up, man. So, going back to Sigmund Freud, who is the father of psycho studies. This guy said that all humans were born bisexual. It's only a matter of time as you get older, you pick one. And it's perfectly normal. Now, the father of psycho studies. the father of Project Bluebeam and all these other mind altering studies, which we know that the government, I mean, television was developed by the government. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Everything, internet, everything we got. It's an old Twilight Zone movie, black and white movie. I'm pretty sure y'all might know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name, but in this episode, it was a small town. They turned on the radio, said it's a nuclear bomb drop. It's a war. Everybody get in your bunkers. There was only one guy who had a bunker in his house. So all the other people, they plotted. He had all the food. He had the bunker down there. So everybody got to plotting one day. They said, "Hey, They start losing their mind out there. They all turned on him. Basically, knocked, beat down the bomb-proof door, right? And once they got it open, and they came back outside, all the lights turned on. And when the camera is zooming out, the camera is behind a desk with two military officers observing a false flag. This is what they doing to us, man. They're running false flags on us. Tests. They're testing us, seeing how the mind works. And this is for computer data, because the world is going to be led by computers. So this is nothing but research. These are field tests that we're in real time. Real life arguing in the house. Your house is full of subjectivity. Everybody in your house is subjective. Come on, man. The houses are supposed to be based off objectiveness. People just don't understand, man. But it's generational. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to get up out of it. So that's why we need to learn about these studies, man. You know what I'm saying? So now let's go to them 7 deadly sins, right? Let's see. And these are the mechanisms they use within the subconscious mind. These are the things that they broadcast to you. Man, let me say it again. This is the media. This is the definition of media. Because we're all in a subjective state based on the social, political system. These are their or this is their constitution. So let's read their constitution. Lust. It is usually thought of as sexual desire. Just skipping through it. Just want to hit you with the main words. Gluttony. Overconsumption of anything to the point of waste. Food, right? Liquor stores on every corner. A McDonald's in a church and a liquor store all next together. Like, you can hit 3 of them before you hit home. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you ain't got to cook no more. The woman ain't got to cook no more. You just go out to eat. Keep on eating. Spend. Greed. Like lust and gluttony, a sin of desire, hoarding of material or objects, theft, robbery, especially by means of violence, trickery, manipulation of authority. This is their constitution. This is the the mechanism. This is daily society. Look at this one right here. Sloth refers to a particular jumble of notions dating from antiquity, including mental, spiritual, pathological, and physical state. It may be defined as absence of interest or habitual disinclination to extortion, right? And this just basically means a person who's into theyself. A lack of feeling about oneself or another, a mind state that gives rise to boredom, a passive insert of sluggish, uh, uh, mentation. So the not caring about nobody, like whatever, like I don't care. To put it in common sense terms, laziness, man. You don't care no more. You don't care about your damn house no more. You don't care about nothing. Too busy looking in that goddamn mirror. Too busy gang banging on that street. You don't care about your kids. You too busy doing what you want to do. Uh, Rush hour traffic, wrath, uncontrolled feelings of anger, rage, and hatred, self-destruction, self-destructive behavior, which leads to drug abuse or suicides. Envy, we know what that is. This is the moral compass of unconsciousness. These are their fundamental principles. You know, the Bible got the 10 commandments. These are their 7 commandments you have to abide by in this society that we live in. Pride, superior, more important than others. And this is going on within our people. Failing to acknowledge the accomplishment of others and excessive admiration of the person admiration of the personal image of self, refusing to acknowledge one's own limits, faults, or wrongs in a human being. Right? This is what they teach our kids. This is what the media is teaching our kids. These are the rules that they want them to apply to, and try to make it fun, and happy. Smiley, smiley on the commercial. But symbolically, want us to follow. So in short, man, just wanted to bring out some things. I'm pretty sure, I mean, this is nothing new. Everybody knows about this. I mean, you know, the quote unquote conscious people, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to spread awareness to those that don't know some of these terms and definitions that we have to utilize in our day-to-day lives. You know what I'm saying? We got to live in an objective state of mind. We can't keep living in a subjective state, because we will annihilate ourselves. We're killing ourselves. We're damaging our homes. We're sending young children out there into the world with depression. Man, we got to break this cycle, and it starts with understanding self-evaluation, the self-evaluation maintenance theory. Understand the 7 deadly sins, or what I call the commandments of social media. We got to understand what subjective denial is. Let me see. Yeah, and we just have to be aware. So man, peace to y'all, man. I'm doing my part, man, trying to get this right, man. Hope you're doing your part, man. Let's all just learn to understand each other, you know what I'm saying? With uh low vibrations, you know what I'm saying? Start with the low vibrations, man. So with that, man, peace to y'all out there, man. Love, peace, and hair grease, man. This is Adams Gerard, LA Ghetto Time News, signing out.